5 years we've been in coordination with services to the community, and I've seen him do his work, and he does a great job. So when they called and asked me to be here, I dropped everything and told them that I'd be here without hesitation. But with all that being said, I feel it important to let you guys know how I got here. He told you all the things I've done. I've had the opportunity to go from Bakersfield to Broadway with the stroke of my pen. I've used football athletically to travel the world, but none of that would have happened without these core values. And one thing he did leave out is that I'm a pretty good chef. So I wanted to share a recipe with you guys. But this recipe is for something other than the stomach. This is for success. And my first ingredient will be character. You know, character is important. As coaches, we go into homes to recruit players, and we're always getting film, and they're sending us these 40 times and all this other stuff. But one thing we stop the parents to tell them or ask them, and also their coaches, what kind of guy is he? Is he the kind of guy that I want in my locker room, in my classroom? Is he the kind of guy that's a good guy when no one's watching? Those are the kind of guys that we wanted as coaches. We didn't care how fast you ran. We didn't care how strong you were. We wanted guys that were good guys when no one is watching. Character is a trait that will follow you for the rest of your life. You'll see people 10 years from now that'll continue to tell you about things you've done that you don't even remember about. So always remember that first ingredient of character, and make sure you're a 97 percentile guy. And when I say a 97 percentile guy, as coaches, we want guys who are dang near perfect. It's okay to make one mistake. It's okay to make a couple of mistakes. But we want guys that are 97 percentile guys. We want A-plus guys. We want guys that will make a mistake and learn from it so they don't make it again. So that leads me to my second ingredient. The second ingredient is accountability. Because none of us are perfect. We're going to make mistakes. And when you make that mistake, being accountable is what teaches you not to make that mistake again. You know, I never met a guy who was an excuse guy who continued to develop and become a better player. And I refer to this as a player because I spent 17 years of my life as a player, and that's where my core values come from. So you'll hear a lot of references to my life as an athlete, but I know I have a lot of athletes down here in this front 3 rows. I even see one of my son's teammates out here. So this is one of my second most important ingredients, accountability. If you do make mistakes, honor up and be the kind of guy that's going to admit the mistake that you made. After you do that, the third recipe or ingredient to this recipe is consistency. As coaches, I don't want the fastest guy. I want the guy who shows up every day because I can teach him how to be in the right place at the right time. Not the guy who thinks he's so good that he doesn't have to show up. Not the guy who thinks he can run for 300 yards in a game and miss film the next day. I want the guys who show up every day. And consistency is one of the best ingredients for success. I think one of the things that has helped me come from being the brokest kid in this city to being able to come here and share my story is the value of consistency. And I get up and I wake up and I go at it every day. So that's the third ingredient. Fourth ingredient, motivation. After that consistency comes the hunger to continue to develop. You have to be motivated to see yourself doing things that other people can't do. Motivation is hard. Every day you walk out your door, you have people not believing in you. I tell my family, I tell my clients, I see family members of my clients in this crowd. I told them the same things. You have to find a way to be motivated to continue to go out and execute. And after you have that motivation, you have to have the ability to visualize and see yourself completing what you set out to do. The ability to visualize and achieve is one of the most underestimated trends in this country. I've done so many things by just telling myself, hey, I can do that. Oh, I write a story, I can do that. I wrote a story that was 17 to 40 words. Within a week, I was